What's up, guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the Big Ten. This is episode 6, and this week we have a new winner, Broham 430. He won the Zunamasis Trail, the Witch Doctor boots that we ID'd last week. Those were the ones that were actually an upgrade for me as well, so I did not even win them. I'm a little disappointed. But joining me, as always, is the Kiwi, the wonderful Akky. How are you doing today,
How you
buddy?
doing, my man? Good. I hear it's a big Super Bowl weekend over there.
Yeah, it's currently being played right now, and yeah. So I'm taking a break though because I need to do a show, and it's just the life
Just
that
the
we
way it
live.
is.
That's right.
Is your team winning? The one you want to win?
I don't want to get into that. They are, and I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want to sound like a moron in this video when I actually release it. So we're just gonna leave
Fair
it
enough.
But yeah, so obviously the Zuni boots we won last week, so that's good. Or Broham won those, so that's awesome.
Congrats,
But we
Brian.
had quite a few good items last week, and this week we were actually just kind of give you guys a little bit of a backstory. This week we were actually having a really crappy week as far as legendaries went. I found like 4 on Monday. None of them. There was one of them that was really exciting for me because I'd never found one of them before. We'll get into that later when we ID it. But then last night we kind of went on a little bit of a roll, didn't really get anything, and then today, Akky as usual coming through, found just a ton of cool stuff for you guys. We got great weapons. We've got just some great pieces of gear that we're gonna ID for you guys today. So let's see what we got, Akky. Start off, and you just kind of go ahead and pick, and we'll go from there.
Check and we'll go from there. Rightio. So yeah, like Nash was saying, man, just really slow week, and then I stayed up pretty late last night farming my tits off, and yeah, it really came through and got a lot of nice drops. So it was really nice to sort of beef that up. So let's get started with the double special of 2 Vile Wards this week. So everyone loves
Vile
these
Wards.
shoulders. 2 Vile Wards. So
Nice.
yeah, let's get started with these. I talked about these before, but they're sort of the only shoulders that can roll above the highest stat that you can get on yellows for any class, like a Witch Doctor, Demon Hunter, and so. So we want big stats, some vitality for some survivability, and anything else is bonus. So,
All right.
see how first pair goes. And for once, it's not stinking hot over here, dude. It's actually been really cold, yeah. Ooh, okay, so pretty average pair, not amazing, but not bad at all. 194 int is nice, with 20% MF and an extra dexterity roll, which is kind of wasted on here. We would have preferred like vitality or something there.
Right.
But not bad at all for beginning int shoulders for sure. Let's see if we get better luck with shoulders number 2.
I was going to say the nice little bit of all res, a little bit of life per second regen on there.
For sure, and the
Those
armor.
always
Nice.
roll that, correct? The Bio Wards, they always roll resist all and regen life.
I have taught you well, young Padawan.
See, I'm getting smarter. All right, let's look at the second one.
This is not a good thing.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I start making my own decisions, it hits the fan.
Oh. And the second one, again, not so great there. So pretty average dexterity roll. Unfortunately, we got the strength roll, which was no good to us. And the resist, still got those resistances, the armor and the regen life. But we also got thorns, which is pretty useless these days. So
Right.
not the best of luck with Vile Wards, but still, very nice pair of shoulders nonetheless.
That's right.
That's right. Let's go with something a little bit nice and go Echoing Fury. Oh, yeah.
Now, I used to use one of these, and they're actually probably one of my favorite weapons ever. But what exactly makes these so good?
The thing that makes these so good is the ridiculous high possibility of the DPS that they can roll for one-handed. They go up as high as 1400. It's very rare that you'll see one that high.
Yeah.
But they can roll very high. They're always black weapons, so you guys have heard me talk about this lots of times now. But they can also roll crit damage and sockets, and that combined with the high weapon damage makes them just unbelievably good one-handers to use.
Let's see what we got this week.
Let's see how we did. Okay, so we got a double roll strength and 1100 DPS, which is really nice. Perfect attacks per second, which is the 0.25, and the bonus increased damage against elites, very nice as well. So this here would be considered, I wouldn't say this is a high-end Echoing Fury
Right.
by any means, but it's still a very nice one with that perfect attacks per second. That double strength roll of 270, the nice base weapon damage of nearly 1.1 kdps,
Right.
and the bonus damage against elites really nice. Which, as a matter of fact, also comes into PvP as well. That's 5% damage against other players in PvP.
Oh, elites are now considered.
Correct.
Okay.
Players are now considered as elites. So
Okay.
yeah, by all means, not a very bad Echoing Fury at all.
Now, if this would have rolled, say, a socket or crit hit damage, this would be one of those items that would
Top
be
tier
insane.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if we had got, let's see, the dexterity roll, if that had rolled a socket instead of dexterity, then yeah, you'd be looking at this as sort of upper tier weapon for sure.
Right.
Probably easily 400, 500 million weapon.
Okay.
So it's funny how that sort of one little
Right.
little roll can make it worth so much or make it worth so little. So.
Right. Well, it's still a good roll. I mean, still a pretty decent Echoing Fury.
Don't get me wrong, it's a great Echoing Fury.
Yep.
It's just, it's not that one that everyone sort of desires with that socket there for their customizability. So.
Right.
But very nice indeed. So.
What do we got next, buddy?
Let's do, continuing with the weapon, let's do the Witch Doctor knife. I think we did one of these the other week.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, we did. And it didn't turn out too well, so let's hopefully get a better one with this.
Now, refresh my memory on this one, because this is one I don't remember.
Yeah, so these here are the Witch Doctor only knives, so Witch Doctors only can use them. But they're always going to roll crit hit damage, and they're always going to roll lifesteal, so two stats that you really want on a Witch Doctor. But what we're looking for is good weapon damage, so we want 950 plus as minimum, or socket as well would make it really nice. So let's see how we did. Okay, so 849. We got mana regen, which they don't always roll, which is nice. But yeah, a little bit low on the weapon damage, unfortunately. 849 is not the greatest. The crit hit damage is 70%, could be a little bit higher, but you get the mana regen, which, like I said, like I've said before about Witch Doctors, if you don't have the mana regen, you can't do damage. So having the mana regen is actually quite a DPS boost because you're getting more mana to use more spells. So people undervalue it quite a lot. So not bad at all. Now I got a couple of pieces here for the Witch Doctors, a few more pieces. We got the chest and the helm, so let's do the chest first. These here are a great chest for the Wizards and the Witch Doctors because they're always going to roll int, vitality, all resistances, and 3 sockets. Now to make these really good, apart from what they already are, you need high rolls in those ints and vitality. So looking, 150 plus on each would make them nice. Anything else is additional. So you're wearing one, I'm wearing one. I think just about every Wizard and Witch Doctor will use one of these if they're looking for a good overall, all balanced item for the chest. So let's see. Okay. So we got 186 int, which is nice. So you get a good amount of damage from it. 49 invite's a little low. Perfect all resistance though. We also got some magic find. So this is our second item with magic find. And the item is usable at level 55, so if you're leveling up, you could buy this and use it a little bit earlier than usual to help you sort of power through those last few levels.
I've actually got something to add here because this is one of those pieces that I have scoured the auction house for hours on end trying to find good deals on these, just because, when we were looking a couple weeks ago, that little bit of difference can make... what I mean? And stats can just be a huge increase for you if you can find one that's a little bit better for a little bit of money. You know what I mean? And I spent probably, I think it was 3 hours the other day going through different bids on these chests. And I'll tell you guys, is these chests, even with that lower Vite roll, with that all-res, the magic find, and that high int roll, that's actually a pretty high int roll. I've seen these go for as much as 7-8 million gold easy, no problem, with those kind of numbers on them. So,
yeah, and that perfect aura makes it really nice as well. So, yeah, definitely not a bad chest at all for sure. So, the fact that you can use it 5 levels early is a bonus. Quite nice. Now the helm. So the Zuni helm. So again, this is the Witch Doctor helm only. This cannot be used, unfortunately, by the Wizards. But for this, you want a nice high int roll. You want Vitality. It's always going to roll life percent, so it's really nice in that regard, and it's always going to roll the socket. However, to make this really good, we want a nice int roll, so we want over 200, and we want a crit chance added to it, so anywhere from 5 upwards, 4 upwards would make it really good. Otherwise, they're a very good helm for Witch Doctors, and they really help towards getting that 4-piece where you get that extra mana regen, which is really nice for a Witch Doctor. Yeah. So, okay, so not bad. Now, we didn't get the percent of crit chance, but we did get a massive int roll of 256, 82 vitality, perfect life percent, so that 12% is perfect. And the increased pickup yard. Now, a lot of Witch Doctors will want pickup radius, although you get a lot of it with your offhand with the Thing of the Deep. Having extra makes it easier for you to function as a class due to your passive abilities, which give you more damage, health, mana regen per health globe you pick up. The bigger your pickup radius, the more of those you can pick up easily and give you that more mana, that more damage and stuff like that. So, very, very nice helm indeed. So.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, if you could make the crit up somewhere else, for sure, then something like this would be perfect for you because you get a lot of damage out of it. You get the pickup radius, you get a lot of life, which you need as a Witch Doctor. Like that, for example, for me over my Mempo is 3,200 upgrades in HP. So
Jeez.
It's a very nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice with that pickup radius too. So, right, so something for the Wizards I haven't forgotten about you is the offhand here. It's called the Triumvirate.
Yeah.
And this is used for the Archon build because of the bonus to the fire, arcane, and lightning damage that you can get. Which essentially is if you have a black weapon, you're getting an extra 18% damage on that black weapon.
So you really, like, the best roll that these can have is 6% of each, correct?
Correct. So you get the maximum 18. But ideally what you need for the offhand to be good is that average damage. It's like you can have the 666, but if you've got bad average damage, then it doesn't make up for it. So let's see. Okay, so the average damage is a little low, a little bit too low, but the fact that it rolled in vitality, perfect crit chance on these, can either roll 8% or 8.5%, makes it not so bad. Okay, so right. It's not a bad one by any means. So.
Right.
Nice with that vitality roll on there too.
Yeah, I was going to say that's quite a bit of vitality.
Yeah. So you could use something like that if you're struggling to sort of get above that 30 to 35k threshold. Something like that would do, perfect for you. So.
Cool.
Next up, I got a couple of helms. So first one is the Monk Helm for the Inner's Radiance. We've seen these before, but we're wanting a dex, we want the vitality. It's always going to roll a socket, but what we want is a good crit chance on it. So we want sort of 5.5, 6% crit chance, and some kind of resistance on it. So any of the poison, lightning sort of resist, or all resistances just as well. To make these really nice. So, let's see how we did. So, not bad at all. So 152 dex, 47 vitality. We got the arcane resistance that we wanted. So that's 40, basically 40 all rares for an arcane monk. That perfect crit chance of 6% and the socket. So very nice helm there for any of the monks out there that are arcane.
Yeah.
For sure. So. And that strength there will turn into, 60 armor as well. So, not bad at all.
Okay.
And the second helm, this is the one that you found, the Natalia's helm. So this is the Demon Hunter only helm. And same sort of thing, we're looking here for dexterity. It's going to roll life percent, but we want crit chance, the socket, all those good things. All the good things.
All of the good things.
Alright, let's see. So, straight off the bat, we didn't get the crit chance, which makes these a little bit less. 90 dex, 69 vitality. We did get the bonus armor, which is really nice. So, if you're wanting to play like a defensive demon hunter, something like this would work well. But yeah, unfortunately, without the crit there on that helm, it makes it a little bit less valued than if it did have the crit. So.
Okay.
Not too great. We've got other rolls. You can see there we got 50 strength, 28 intelligence. If we had that somewhere else, it would have been nice. So. And we'll save the best for last, the two-handed Scorn.
Ooh.
So we had one of these last.
Another Scorn you found, huh?
Another Scorn. Mm-hmm. That we rolled. We got a really nice roll last week, so let's see if we can get another nice roll with this one. So again, with these, we're always going to get a main stat of around 200 plus. We're always going to get crit hit damage and a bleed chance, and we're always going to get a socket. So we're looking to really maximize those stats. Let's see. All right, so 1175. Okay, so this one not as good as last week, obviously. We
Right.
did get a massive int
I
roll.
was gonna say that int roll is disgusting.
Yeah. That's a pretty big int roll for sure. But yeah, the lower sort of crit hit damage there. No sort of life steal or life on hit there. Makes it not quite as good as the one we found last week, but still very nice for sort of like an introductory wizard or a witch doctor.
Yeah.
Not bad at all for those guys. So
Yeah. No,
very nice.
I was gonna say I think last week's rolled perfect bleed chance, and I
Yeah,
think like around 170 crit hit damage.
yeah.
But it was a strength one. Whereas this one's an and just so you guys have an idea of how much int that is, I'm using a scorn currently, and mine rolled 320 int. Now mine rolled a lot better of the other stats, but I mean that's
That's a
insane.
huge int roll. Yeah.
Yeah, the 117 more int than the one I had, and I thought the one I had was pretty decent. So that's insane.
That's a big int roll for sure. Overall, nice sort of array of items this week. So some nice rolls, some not so nice rolls, but a good all round amount. I would
Yeah,
say.
and guys, we're going to go through these one more time as always. We'll start from the end. We got the Scorn, the Natalia's Helm, Inna's Radiance, Triumvirate Offhand. We got the Zuni's Helm for the Witch Doctors. We got the Zuni's Chest. We've got the Carving Knife. We've got the Echoing Fury. We have two sets of Vile Boards. And again, guys, we are in the U.S., so you do have to. It doesn't really matter if you're on the U.S. If you have a U.S. account and you want the item, you can have it. All you gotta do is leave a comment. But yes, we are on the U.S. servers. If you couldn't tell by my lovely accent, Ackies I know might throw you off a little bit. But those are the items that we have this week for you. Again, congrats to Broham from last week. And what was the other thing I wanted to say? There's something else I wanted to share.
Go 49ers!
No, not that. But yeah, guys, all you have to do to win any of these is just leave a comment below. I did want to say thank you to everybody who has been following us. I've seen a large amount of messages from you guys just involving pretty much just the show and everything else. Keep in mind, guys, that once patch 1.0.7 comes out, we are going to also be doing some dueling videos and guides for you guys, going over some different things that way, maybe doing some competitions amongst you guys. So make sure that if you want to stay tuned and see exactly what we're doing in the coming up weeks, especially as the patch, it's approaching pretty quick. I can't imagine it would be more than, what, 2-3 weeks away, Aki?
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if it doesn't come out before the end of February. Very, very surprised. So look
Yeah.
forward for the patch. So.
But yeah, guys, so we're going to be messing around with different builds, messing around with dueling each other, maybe doing some duels against you guys if you want. But yeah, we're going to try to get some of this stuff filmed for you. And like I wanted to say earlier, just thank you for, kind of supporting us and making this community really actually growing pretty strong. We want to kind of bring you this every week, regardless of what patch comes out or anything else. We've been having a lot of fun doing this, and it seems that you guys really enjoy it too. So we will see you next week with 10 more legendaries to ID, and wish us luck on our rolls.